The Shadow in the Fog. The Tale of Jack the Ripper. Imagine London in the autumn of 1888, a city of dazzling wealth and crushing poverty, where the grand gas-lit boulevards of the West End hid the squalor of the East End. In the narrow, twisting alleys of Whitechapel, thousands scraped by in overcrowded slums, where disease, drink, and desperation were constant companions. Fog clung to the cobblestones like a shroud, and the flickering light of street lamps barely pierced the darkness. It was here, in this forgotten corner of the empire, that a monster emerged, one who would haunt the world forever. The Jack the Ripper. They were ordinary women, worn down by hard lives, mothers, wives, daughters fallen on cruel times. Most had turned to the streets to survive, selling what little they had for a few pennies and a doss house bed. Their names were Mary Ann Nichols, Annie Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Eddowes, and Mary Jane Kelly. History remembers them as the canonical five, the victims most certainly claimed by the same merciless hand. The terror began on a chilly August night. Polly Nichols, a 43-year-old mother estranged from her family, stumbled through the streets, penniless and drunk. In the dead of night, in a quiet stable yard called Buck's Row, she met her end. Her throat was slashed so deeply she was nearly decapitated, her body mutilated in the shadows. When a cart driver discovered her by lantern light, the killer had vanished into the mist. A week later, dark Annie Chapman met the same fate. In the backyard of a rundown house on Hanbury Street, her body was found at dawn, throat cut, abdomen torn open, organs skillfully removed and arranged beside her. The savagery was escalating. Then came the night that chilled London to its core. September 30th, the double event. First, Elizabeth Stride, known as Long Liz, was found in a yard off Berner Street, her throat freshly cut. But the mutilations were incomplete, as if the killer had been startled by approaching footsteps. Less than an hour later, across the district in Mitre Square, Catherine Eddowes lay eviscerated. Her face was slashed, her body opened like a butcher's work, organs taken as trophies. Nearby, a bloodied piece of her apron pointed police to scrawled chalk words on a wall: "The Jews are the men that will not be blamed for nothing." The newspapers exploded with horror, their pages filled with lurid illustrations that fueled public panic. As fear gripped the streets, taunting letters arrived. One, signed Jack the Ripper, mocked the police. "I am down on whores and I shan't quit ripping them till I do get buckled." Another, from hell, came with a gruesome gift: a half-preserved human kidney, claimed to be from one of the victims. The final act was the most horrific. On November 9th, in a tiny room in Miller's Court, young Mary Jane Kelly, only 25 and said to be pretty despite her hardships, was found. The door was locked from outside, but inside, her body was unrecognizable, dissected with unimaginable fury. Organs arranged around the room, her heart gone. This time, the killer had all the privacy he needed. And then, silence. The murders stopped as suddenly as they began. The police hunted desperately. Inspectors like Frederick Aberline leading searches, questioning thousands, patrolling the fog-choked streets. Vigilance committees formed, rewards offered, suspects from butchers to royals whispered about. But the shadow slipped away. To this day, no one knows who Jack the Ripper truly was. A madman with surgical skill? A local resident blending into the crowds? The name became legend, but behind it lies the tragedy of 5 vulnerable women whose lives ended in terror. In the foggy alleys of Whitechapel, their stories echo still, a chilling reminder that some monsters vanish into history, leaving only questions in the dark. Will the mystery of Jack the Ripper ever be solved? Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and TikTok as we bring you the unresolved mysteries of the world's most brutal crimes in history.